Okay, hello all you crazy people out there. My name is Michael. I like wizards and dragons and making games, and those guys just ran clean off the screen. Welcome back to making a game in Game Maker. So this is the status of the tower defense project so far. Not too bad. There's a 3D camera rendering. There are now towers. There are now ants that are somewhere off in the distance because they ran away looking for food, I expect. Today I'm gonna have them follow a path instead of just running off. So let me first get rid of that second window because I don't really need that anymore since I'm not doing anything side by side. I'm going to create a path resource. It has been a long time since I've used these. I'm gonna call that path test. This is most likely not going to be a permanent solution in a similar way to the way like model loading currently isn't. Can I set the background? No, that's not what I wanted to do at all. Can I set the background to a room? Not that it'll do much good because there's nothing actually in the room. This is what the room looks like right now. It's rather empty. But I guess I'll have it start at like 0, 0. Can I snap? I would like grid snapping. Grid snapping will make things easier. Where is 0, 0 in the room? Here. All right, so we'll start there, and then I guess we'll walk out in steps, kind of like this. I don't really have any end goal in mind. I just want a couple nodes so that I can watch what happens. Okay, and close would have them go back to the beginning. Do I want to do that? I don't really. That was not what I meant to click. I actually did not mean to click anything at all. Is that regular scale? Okay. So, do I even need this object anymore? Like, open. I need it as kind of the backbone of the entire game. You know, I'm gonna rename it that. And in the in the game script, let us update the singleton. That's a better name, I think, for it. Let me see. So I'm gonna hard code in the path right now. I'm gonna say path equals path test. There's a couple functions you can use for paths other than like having an object just follow it, because I do want a little more control over that than I would get just by using the path functions. You can say path get. Is it path get? Path get number. This should return the number of points in the path. Okay, I guess. Well, that's better than what the manual was doing before, which was trying to like open a emulated browser page in a workspace. Yeah, that's the number of points on the path. The exact location of each path would be path get point X, path get point Y. So you could use this to kind of figure out where you are on the path yourself. I'm also going to I'll call it path node because I think path index is a built-in variable. We're gonna start at 0. Okay. So I'm gonna change how a few things work here. Instead of, oh wait, this is in tower. I want this in faux. Oops. So instead of taking XYZ in the constructor to set the position, I'm going to 0 those values to start with, and then the when a foe is created, it will jump to the first node on the path.
Hey.
Like so. And then in the update, instead of just moving off infinitely in some direction, oh, I also need a Z, which is just going to be 0 because paths are 2D. I am not working in 2D. Next, we need to approach the destination. And let's see, there's like one of the common One of the common math functions you could add, you'd probably use in a game, is something like approach. Do I have it implemented in anywhere here? I don't think I do. I do. Okay. It is just not showing up with Control T. Approach will just make a value move towards another value, and if it reaches there, it will stop moving. This is the math for it. I don't really want to. I will just make another script called math, not in caps. And this is just where I'm going to drop the all the miscellaneous math functions that I might need. And you know what I can do? No, that'll be extra work, which I don't really want to do. Position.x equals approach. Did I spell it right? I should have spelled it right. All right, well, it just wasn't highlighting for whatever reason. The value is position.x. The target is path destination.x, and the step is going to be speed delta time for whatever second, for whatever reason, is in microseconds or 1/millionth of a second. So typically the delta time value in GameMaker will be about 16,000 or so if your game is running at 60 frames per second. So if you want to turn that into like a scale factor, you need to divide it by 1,000,000. That is 1,000,000, right? I put enough zeros in there. I think I did. And then we'll just do the same for the Y and Z. Like that. And like that. And I'll say if point distance 3D from that to... Okay, so I'm getting tired of typing out path destination every time. Let's shorten that variable name just a little bit. So if that is less than, what would the value be? My brain is completely blanking. Speed times delta time. If you're within range, if you're on top of the node. Actually, you know, it might be a little more from a gameplay perspective. It might be a little more forgiving to have enemies like pause when they reach the when they reach their destination point, instead of turning immediately, just to give the player like an extra frame of time to think. Which isn't a lot, but otherwise it might be perceived as if like the enemy is immediately like jumping around the corner, even if they're technically not, which, In any case, this can be changed later. It is just the condition in the if statement. Am I missing a, no? IntelliSense is just being dumb. This looks right to me. Got a comma, expected something that wasn't a comma. Oh, right. That's because that should be an and instead of a comma. Anyway, if we reach our destination, path node plus plus. Should I like continuously create new vector 3s, or should I make things a little bit easier for the garbage collector and just reassign it? I think I'll just reassign it. There's really like no reason not to. There's also the matter of what'll happen if something gets to the end of the node, in which case I think path get x, path get y will return undefined, and then things will break because we're going to be trying to do math on undefined, but we'll see. I updated the constructor, but I did not actually do that. Okay. I can see something moving in the corner there. Not very fast. All right, they're moving at like 2 pixels per second, one, which is not what I want. I just remembered I did that. Let's make this more like 64. Millipedes can move slower. They can move like 40. All right, so we'll be getting along 32 times faster than before. And now we can actually see, okay, well, they're all on top of each other because I've spawned 2 on top of each other. And you're stuck on something. Where did the actual path lead? Okay, so it looks like you got to node 0, 1, 2, 3, and then stopped. Is that a problem with my approach script? By any chance? Oh, okay, that doesn't do what I thought it did. Path get X, path get Y. That's relative. Like 0 is always the beginning, 1 is always the end. What would the path function that I want be then? Path get point X, I think. Alright, let me, okay, much better. Yes, okay, good. So let me replace that with that with that. I can probably get rid of that, although I will control Z if it still doesn't work and if I need to control Z. Alright. It's going. That's not where it should be going. Alright. Gamble lost. Back to the drawing board. Oh wait, hang on. It might help if I actually used X and Y instead of X and X as the destination targets. Alright, it looks like it's actually doing what it's supposed to now. Let's make sure that it ends up in the right place. Alright, you're a little hard to see when you're off there in the distance. Just for reference. All right, now okay, I lost you after that point. And it did go haywire when it hit the end. So I'll just throw in a check for that. Path get number, right? That's what I want. Number of points on the path. So if there are nodes left to follow, we will follow them. Otherwise, we'll just show a message. Okay. This is fun. So you're gonna, I probably should have made the ant another color, like something that'll stand out against the dark background so that you can see it when it goes off there. Should be emerging and coming down one of these days there. There we go. Boing. And it looks like it's... It didn't... Yeah, I know. It didn't exactly follow this. It went like down like here where my cursor is and then over here and then up there. It looked like it thought there was another node in there or something. Also, I've never actually experimented with using a curved line path. Oh, can you actually... Let's see. Oh no, that won't have any effect because I'm not actually following the It lets you set the oh god, what are these called? Like the control points on the Bezier curve. That's cool. That's new. It didn't you didn't used to have that kind of control over the curve. God, what was I thinking? I won't be using that. If I want to implement curves, I'll have to do that myself. The paths, as they are just a series of points that I'm following. So that's okay. If I get rid of the if I get rid of the annoying pop-up message just because I know it's there, it will stop, right? Because it'll try to move 0 distance towards where it is right now, and it'll just stop. I am slightly confused about why it's doing that. It definitely seems to think there are 2 more points on the path than there are. Anyway, it did stop. One more thing before I finish here. This is not exactly correct, the motion code. I'm more concerned about X and Y. There's like... I want to say it's called like something like the law of taxicab movement. If I'm just moving horizontally, I'm moving at the speed. If I'm just moving vertically, I'm also moving at that speed. But if I'm moving both horizontally and vertically, I'm moving in both directions at that speed, and it's like square root of 2 times faster overall. The way that I would do that would be... What is it? The cosine on the horizontal axis and the negative sign on the vertical axis of the direction, I think. I probably want to absolute value that too, just so that nothing ever moves backwards. Something like that. Just so that an amount of horizontal and vertical motion can be canceled. Like I said, I don't really care about the z-axis. Let's see if you do appear to be moving slower, or moving at the correct speed diagonally, I should say, instead of faster. And it looks like you are. Let's see how that behaves towards the end. Interestingly, oh, is that also why it seemed to be taking the extra points? Is because it was the speed wasn't being adjusted for horizontal and vertical. Okay, that answers 2 mysteries at once, or that solves 2 problems at once at least. We now have paths. What do I want to do the next time? That's all I've written down for today. I want to do waves the next time. Waves of foes. Makes sense. Okay, I'm going to end this off here. My name is Michael. I like wizards and dragons and making games. I try to post 2 of these a week. One of these tower defense videos and 1 game dev tutorial, which is a little more structured than this. I have a Patreon for these things, so if you want to chip in, there's links to that in all the usual places. Code for this project, video description, GitHub. Otherwise, that's all I have today. I hope you all enjoyed that, and I will see you all later. Special thanks to Edward Holt, Indie Punch, and Zenith for supporting these videos. If you want your name in the credits and to force me to pronounce them out loud at the end of every video, head over to the Patreon page in the video description and join the fun.